All aboard, and welcome to our podcast, GoddeSShips, where we discuss how ships affect lives. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, thank you for your continued support and welcome back. Gods and goddesses, remember that we are always available wherever you listen to your podcasts, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, GeoSavin, iHeartRadio, and of course here on YouTube. I am Keely, the Soul Snatching Goddess.
And I am Melinda, the FACKTgoddess, F.A.C.K.T. And we want to thank you for joining us tonight. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to our podcast and bang on the notification bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes.
Hello, world. I'm FloydGod.
All right. And we already have a comment. Simone says, hi, everyone.
Hello,
Simone.
Simone. Simone.
All right, and time for some quick shirt cam. So my shirt says, I don't push issues, just buttons.
Oh, cute. I knew
that. All right.
I'm just showing a little love tonight. Just heart. Just
some love.
Heart.
Some love. All right. Floyd, you showing anything but taco meat? Okay. So tonight's episode is somewhat a part 2 from the comments that we had that developed from our previous episode about the 5 love languages. We were supposed to have 2 additional guests on that were in the comment section from last time. But C. Renee, her daughter is ill, so she won't be joining us. And I have not heard back from Dave today. So if he joins, we'll pull him in. If not, we'll keep the conversation going. So the comment section got quite heated last week, where we invited some of our viewers to elaborate and have some explanation of some things. But since they are not here, we'll talk about those topics and just how we felt about them in general. Floyd, what happened to you? You need me to take you down for a second?
I have. I pushed the wrong button.
Okay. All right.
I was trying to turn the volume up. I told you.
Lele said hi.
Hey, Lele. We got Say and Lele.
All right. So there was a couple of different word choices that gave Floyd the blues last time. So in preparation for having this conversation, and it'll probably still kick back up in the comment section again as well, but I did want to give some clarity on the definition so that we can tackle those, because it's somewhat the semantics of words kind of hindered the conversation and us progressing and stuff. So I wanted to give some definitions. So when speaking in terms of the roles, because that was thrown around a bit, the word in a relationship, we'll be speaking in 2 parts. So the first is the traditional role of males and females, like back in the day, where the male worked and provided and the woman kept the home, and most times didn't work. And then we also realized that in today's society that has changed quite a bit. So if you're speaking in like the modern definition, that's where they both may work and they may share the responsibilities in the household. In terms of strengths and weaknesses and being equally yoked and being equals, that's more of like a yin and yang definition. Not so much as physical strength. And I know that that was a part of something that in the comment section was determined when speaking about people being equals. It was looked at more on a physical term and not your attributes or what your qualities that you're bringing into the relationship. Also, being equals is where everybody has the same rights, opportunities, responsibilities, and then that person can be looked at as an equal. For example, in attributes and proficiencies and stuff. So one partner may be more proficient at handling finances. So that person in that partnership agrees that they're going to handle that portion. The other partner may be a better cook, so they'll handle that aspect. So that's what we mean in terms of bringing your attributes and being the yin and yang or equal to each other. All right, so let's rewind a little bit for a moment. The conversation seemed to take this change when FACKTgoddess was mentioning or saying about, in a lot of cases, your love language is shaped from your childhood experiences. And to a degree, I think most people agreed with that. Am I correct?
Turn the volume up.
Turn what volume up? You can't hear me? Can you hear me, FACKTgoddess?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think I can turn anything else up.
It's all good. I don't know what's going on, but it's all good. I can hear you. I just have to listen,
Okay. Let me come out of the settings. Okay. So so I think we all kind of agreed in terms of looking back at your love language being shaped from your childhood experiences, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I had already said it. I didn't know if you wanted me to concur again.
Yes, I did.
I'm sorry.
And then we also spoke. Well, I spoke on my personal experience in newly getting back into dating and seeing men wanting for women to pursue or court them. And I said that I'm most definitely not doing that. I do know that we had one viewer comment about possibly seeing their mother chase after men, and that could be where they got it. C. Renee also hit on the new trend of women proposing to men. So what's your thoughts about that? Would you do it, FACKTgoddess?
Oh, absolutely not.
FloydGod, if somebody proposed to you, would you accept? What you gonna say?
No, I already told y'all last week. I don't get out like that.
You don't get out like that.
I ain't going. No, I ain't going. No.
And then we got into the topic of women being labeled as too independent. So C. Renee was saying that the independence for some women is a survival mechanism, but it can be relaxed when someone else is leading. She also stated that she can be a boss at work, but she really doesn't want to be at home if she doesn't have to. Do y'all agree that it's out of necessity or that that's just in some people's nature?
I think it's both. Because it just depends upon the female. You have some of them that do it out of necessity, but then you have some that don't necessarily have to do it, but that's just how they are. That's just a part of their makeup.
Okay.
I mean, last week we talked about it last week, and let me get my thoughts together. I don't say it one more time because I got a lot of thoughts in my head right now.
Okay. In terms of women being independent, C. Renee said that was a lot of times brought on by necessity and not necessarily that that's something that they wanted to do.
I mean, unfortunately, in the current climate, yeah. But again, like I said last week, you can be independent, but understand if you meet somebody, in terms of a woman, we talk about a woman meeting a man, and you see that man is a stand-up dude. He 10 toes down. He a good brother. He's independent as well. He knows his role. Then I think there needs to be an understanding that each other play their roles. I think a lot of women these days get independence and submissiveness confused. And especially these days, because you can be independent, but I think these days and times, people, when they hear the word submit to their significant other, they think it's a sign of weakness when it's not. It's just really adapting, not adapting, but just playing your position and adhering to your role. If the man is just and they're fair and they're treating you right, then why would you not submit, and vice versa? You know what I'm saying? So I to answer the question, given today's climate, yes, I think a lot of women use it as, I think a lot of women are independent because of just the way the world is. They have no choice to be. But I think when you meet someone that is worthy of you building with and having a future with, I think then at that point you need to understand where the line is drawn between independence and submissiveness. Some women are so independent that they're blind to a good man that comes along, because these days, through the music, media, whatever, it's this indoctrination that, oh, men ain't this, men ain't that. Like, you see it everywhere you go. It's almost like a war between black men and black women. So, and that translates to the destruction of our family. So it get real deep. But yeah, out of necessity, because we got brothers being locked up, we got brothers, making different decisions. I'm trying to be PC. Brothers making different decisions with themselves, you know what I'm saying, all of that. And so it leaves a woman in kind of a desolate space. So she has to be independent, because a woman's natural instinct when she feels threatened, especially if she has a child, is to kick into survival mode. So, the independence comes from there. So, yeah. So all of those things I just said, basically, yeah.
I completely agree. Simone made a comment. She says she caught last week's episode and she understood Floyd's definition of role simply as an agreed upon function of each person in the partnership for the betterment of the union.
Exactly. And that just goes right back to what I'm saying. Like, thank you, Simone Baldwin, whoever you are, I appreciate you. I just think that goes back to exactly what I'm saying. Like, you understand what it is when two people come together and they're on the same level. Y'all, everything you do is for the betterment of the relationship. It's for the betterment of each other. When you decide to make a decision to be with each other, whether it's marriage, a strong relationship, or whatever, damn near your whole existence is for the betterment of the other person, and vice versa.
Exactly.
So understanding your role is just that. It's not about who's stronger, who's weaker. It's a partnership. Y'all walk together. And I think sometimes that gets misconstrued in today's society. So,
Very, very much so. Um, I know the comment section kind of really exploded a bit when we had one viewer that said a strong man would love an independent partner so that they are equally yoked. To which Dave, which he was supposed to be on here so he could explain his position, said that he doesn't or isn't searching for his equal at all, that he married his soulmate and they are not equals, and that he was a superior man and his wife was a divine feminine. So I wanted for him to be on tonight so that he could explain that more, because um, I was a little confused and a bit perturbed by that statement.
again, you got to read the book. You have to read. I
I
understood
did.
where he
So
was coming from.
I did start reading the book. I did not complete
Okay,
it,
right on.
but I did start reading the book because, like I said, I don't like to talk about stuff that I'm not versed on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did go and get the book and start reading. I'm probably about 60 pages in. And now, even with reading the book, I'm still a slight bit confused about his his statement in terms of reading the book. So
I
I
think
really
it's,
would have wanted
yeah,
him to be on here because I needed to know what his
yeah.
interpretation was.
It would have been nice if he'd have been on here, but I think, to his point, just from me talking to him and when he first introduced me to the book,
Mm-hmm.
I think that, again, role is perspective. I mean, it is. I mean, even though I'm saying what I believe roles are, my opinion and how I was taught and what I see and believe, but it's obvious that roles are up to one's interpretation, because you have some people who are traditionalists where the man is the head of the household and the woman submits by definition, full definition, to the man. You understand what I'm saying? And where there may not be equality, but then you have certain situations where the role is, this is the man, this is the woman, and they are equal, but she still understands how to submit, yet they are equals, and there is no lessening of each other as people. So it's all about perspective. Like it really is. It's how you, but again, that goes back to what we said last week, having the conversation. When you join together, having the conversation.
So Simone said she was looking forward to hearing his explanation as well. Is Floyd able to expand on it a bit?
That. Go ahead.
So for me, when I started reading the book, and the reason that I really did want him to be on here is when he said about not being equals, and in terms of what you're saying in terms of roles, in the book he did mention 50-50 and being equals quite a bit. He also mentioned in terms of those roles more so of male and feminine energy, and he did not define it or assign it to a gender so much as what you are in your relationship. There is a feminine and a male polarity that's always there. So I completely agree and get that totally. But he also did mention about the position of 50-50, where Dave was quite adamant about them not being 50-50 down the board. They're not equals and they're roommates, which is why I really, really wanted him to be on, because I needed explanation and clarity once I started reading the book. Inside of the book, he was saying that the book is written explicitly for people who have already achieved for other genders and sexual preferences respect, and who consider men and women to be social, economic, and political equals. It is a time to evolve beyond the macho jerk idea of all spine and no heart. It's also time to evolve beyond the sensitive and caring wimp idea of all heart and no spine, that the heart and the spine must be united in a single man and then gone beyond in the fullest expression of love and consciousness possible, which requires a deep relaxation into infinite openness of this present moment. So that's what he defines the way of the superior man. So I'm like, in that definition, I can agree with it, but I just kind of felt like in the other definition, he kind of made it where it wasn't equal. Like I don't understand how we not equals.
Mm-hmm. It would have been nice for him to have been here to expound on it.
Yeah.
Because I can't speak for him, in terms of that. I can only speak to my interpretation of it. But at the same time, I have my own belief system. So even though I'm reading this book and I understand some of it, there's still a personal belief system that I have and how I live based on my experiences and things like that, to where my belief system may contradict some of those things, but I understand. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's why it would have been nice if he was here to explain it more from his perspective.
And then I noticed the main beginning portion of the book, a lot of it in that masculine and feminine energy that he was talking about was more on almost like a sexual attraction portion. And then he got into some other stuff later, but like the first part of the book was that in that those pools of masculine and feminine attraction in people. And he even talked about it being reversed, where the female may be or have more of a masculine energy and the male have a feminine energy, but they're still attracted to each other. Because
to me, that part spoke to what we talked about earlier, where the question was raised or the statement was raised, where a lot of women are independent out of necessity, which can cause a masculine energy. If you looking at it from that perspective, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, you know, you see the memes and the statements online where women are like, I got to be the mama and the daddy. You know what I'm saying? So that whole energy thing, I think that's a whole nother conversation, because I've seen relationships where men have had more feminine energy, speaking from the perspective of the book, and the women have had more of a masculine energy. And to me, that's a bit off. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, we can go around the world with it. We could talk about this for days, you know, so. Yeah, I just wish he was able to offer his perspective.
Do we have his number?
So, he didn't get. Why he didn't come on?
I don't know. I texted him. I sent the link.
It might be something going on then if he's not responding. I didn't know you had texted him. That's why I was saying, did we have his number?
Well, I sent a group text to everybody that said everybody has the link, and see, Renee's the only person that responded.
But you know what? Can you do me a favor? I mean, because I know you there on your computer, and this might help me. I would like to hear what the definition, not the book's definition, but just the definition in general of what they say feminine energy is and masculine energy. I'm just very curious because I got something on my mind.
Okay. Feminine on energy.
I just, you know, like, because we live in this world, and I ain't trying to get like real, you know, out there with it, but we live in this world where it's like these gender roles and gender and everything is just, it's like it's being scrutinized. And like I said last week, I just think things are more simple than that. I just think we make stuff so complex. So, you know, we talk about male gender, you know, the gender of a woman, you know, some people get insulted by you saying female. That's a whole other conversation. You know, energy and it just seems like it's a lot, where there was just a time that I came up in, and I know the world is changing, where everybody just knew who they were, what their role was, and it really just boiled down to just being just and fair. And if you were just and fair and you love someone unconditionally, then everything else just seemed to flow naturally. And it just seems like we have lost the natural flow of things, our natural attitudes, actions, emotions. Everything has been dictated and thrown like you being conditioned, as opposed to you just living naturally, loving naturally, choosing naturally, bonding naturally. Like everything has to be a science project. Like it's like indoctrination almost. Like, I mean, I hope people understand what I'm saying, but it's just like nothing seems to be natural anymore. Like just how we were talking about roles last week, it became so extra and it was like it was so extra as opposed to just natural. And then we started debating about wordplay, and it was just like, what about being natural? If you fall in love with somebody and they taking care of their business in a worldly sense, this man can provide. This woman can nurture. This man provides things that the woman needs, and the woman provides things that the man needs. So these two people come together and they are one body. There is no strengths. There are no weaknesses. There are just attributes. And I just don't understand why that's so hard to comprehend and understand. And it's like it's not us, but it's just like it just went everywhere else. And I guess that's my issue. Like nothing's natural anymore. Like we have inherent feelings, and like nothing's natural anymore. Let me shut the hell up. It just it be grinding my gears a lot. Like for real. I just don't get it. Like I look at my grandparents, you know, yeah, wasn't nothing perfect. They had their issues, but there was an understanding. They loved each other, regardless of what else it was. Our elders, a lot of our elders Hell, your parents, Keely, your parents are still together. Like there's a foundation, and I don't know if this is a word, so if it is, we're gonna put it in the book. Their relationship was foundated on love. I don't know if that's a word. It's probably not, but y'all get my point. So let me clarify. The foundation was love, regardless of what it was. This man loved this woman loved this man. They did what they had to do. If this man felt like his wife could take care of the money situation better, we talked about last week, he gave her the check. She took care of the business. He knew if he could look at his bank account, the money was there, like you spoke about last week. She knew that if she, protection-wise, this man got her. This man gonna do what he got to do. It's an understanding, but that all came from the foundation of love. And everything flowed naturally. They wasn't talking about, well, I'm the man and this, that, and the other, and my energy. No, I love her, man. She loved me. Like, let's get it.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
All right. Simone said she was just about to ask for the definition of the different energies. Good thinking, Floyd. And she thinks movies and TV has shaped the minds of what right is versus what works organically for each couple.
It's a program. It's all a program. They call it television programming. Telling lies to your vision programming. It's a program. That means they getting you ready for something. They putting something in your head. It's programming. When you get on the computer, you putting in a system of instructions to make it do what it do. And you keep running them instructions till that computer get that down pat. It's the same thing with us. They keep running these things just like TV. I'm gonna shut up because I was going to go somewhere. All right now. I'm gonna be quiet.
Let's get to these energy definitions. So there's a couple. So I found two that I'm going to pull from. So one says feminine energy refers to a specific set of traits considered to be the opposite of traits associated with masculine energy. Your feminine side is expressed when you move with the flow of life, embrace your creative energy, dance, play, and are attuned to your internal processes. Then there was this particular chart that ran down masculine energy and feminine energy. So masculine energy says logical thought, mind, decisive action, risk-taking, achieving, controlling, competitive, and intellectual. The feminine energy side says intuitive feelings, senses, creativity, nurturing, experiencing, being, collaborative, and expressive.
I mean, it's teetering, I guess. I mean, what y'all feel about that? I mean, ladies.
So let me take Tanika. Tanika said, hey, y'all, sorry I couldn't get on tonight. She had PD for work. We understand, but we're glad you're here in the comments.
I know that PD means professional development.
Oh, you didn't learn
some new
stuff.
Because I'm a teacher now.
You know, that's that old lingo. The lingo. So for that particular one, in terms of that chart, I would say I don't necessarily agree with it all the way. I guess I could say the nurturing side usually is given as a feminine energy. But creativity, I don't think that can be looked at or viewed at as feminine energy.
I'm flummoxed.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I thought you were done talking. Go ahead.
No, what were you saying?
I just said I'm flummoxed. Can you review this thing again, this feminine energy, so I can speak properly on it?
Okay, do you want me to go down the chart on both sides again, or just for the feminine energy?
For the feminine.
Feminine energy, intuitive feeling, senses, creativity, nurturing, experiencing, being, collaborative, and expressive.
These definitions proving my point I just got through saying, but I digress. That's the way I asked you to look them up.
I mean, so those definitions can apply to anybody. I don't think it necessarily has to be feminine energy.
Exactly my point.
There may be a couple of them that may lean more toward a female, I guess, according to society. Like for instance, for instance, that's Keya. That's Keya. Because whenever I talk to her, I would have verbal dyslexia. So that's Keya haunting me right now. She is probably cracking up. But the nurturing one, for instance, you don't usually hear a man being defined as nurturing, but that doesn't mean that he can't be nurturing or it's anything wrong with him being nurturing, especially when you're talking about, say, single fathers, or maybe a father who has a full family, but let's say that let's say it's a husband, but his wife is sick. So he's going to be a nurturer because he has to take on all the roles, quote unquote, because he's caring for her, caring for the children, holding it down as the husband, and so on and so forth. So in that instance, for example, he would be a nurturer because he's nurturing his wife and his children in this time frame that she's unable to do it. And I mean, that could be sick as in having a cold or sick as in having cancer, as far as what I'm saying about a man being nurturing. So that's why I was kind of like, and it keeps falling back on how people define a role.
Exactly. And also for me, I think even in saying about a male being nurturing, he can be nurturing it within being masculine because he's the example of what the man should be in the household for his daughters and his sons, and for how somebody is supposed to express love to their mate, and the same going for her. So he still can be nurturing in that way and it not have to be looked at as feminine. It can still have a masculine energy attached to it.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't cutting y'all off. Okay, so I'm just speaking on this nurture thing, and I'm gonna expound a little more. A man who is a husband has to be nurturing. A man who is in a relationship has to be nurturing. We all are agreeing. So I don't want to go around the world, but let me say this. The point I was trying to make with all of this is going back to last week when I was saying attributes, as opposed to separating the masculine from the feminine, because in relationships, both people who are involved have to exhibit those traits. Because a man has to nurture his woman just like a woman has to nurture her man. Supportiveness, love, all of those things that we talk about. So that's why I was saying I look at them as attributes. Situations and societal situations cause these things to be determined as masculine or feminine. Society has deemed this, because at the end of the day, I'm simply a man because I don't know if I can say this on the camera. I don't know the PC, but me being a man is only because the clitoris is longer than the woman's. At the end of the day, and a couple of chromosomes here and there. You understand what I'm saying, T? So we still humans, mankind. Society has dictated this. These are just attributes. So I just stand on attributes. I agree with both of y'all. We all saying the same thing, like we really are. So at the end of the day, it's not a male or female thing. In terms of relationships and interactions, There are attributes. What do we bring to benefit each other for the benefit of the collective, which is us, our situation? What attributes do you have? I don't see weakness in you because I chose you because you're my equal and I am yours. So I don't see weaknesses. I don't see strengths. I only see attributes, because whatever you bring to the table, whatever I bring to the proverbial table, is for the benefit of our collective. So I don't see strengths or weaknesses. I only see attributes, because we in it to win it. So,
Good. I agree. All right.
Just things need to flow naturally. Like, again, naturally is my God. God.
You in that natural flow.
Man, like just think about what your parents got, your grandparents got. That was natural. They weren't talking about all this. It was natural. How dare I not go to work? How dare I not provide? How dare I not love? How dare I not nurture?
Let me speak with some of my candor. I wouldn't even really be having this conversation, even if the guests were on, after I found out who wrote the book. Because
I knew that was gonna come up. Yeah.
Well, yeah. You know me well then, because part of the whole, speaking on what you just said about think about your grandparents, think about your parents, is when we started letting people that lack melanin into our family unit with some of their vices. That's another factor in the family unit and African Americans being broken up. Like all these ideologies aren't necessarily ours.
Yeah, very much so. I totally agree. And I knew that.
As soon as I found that out, I said, oh, please. Okay.
I agree. But we got some of our own people who promote that same thing. You know what I mean? So but I agree. It's when it's coming from, it's coming from that other side, it kind of changes the perspective.
So Tanika said, who wrote the book? His name is David Dita. He is a Caucasian American writer that does relationship coaching in tours and does different speaking engagements where he talks about, he has about, I think it's 10 books that he has. Some of them
quite a plethora of works.
Yeah, some of those titles are are quite interesting.
Strong.
Quite interesting. Simone through the bomb. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
She said, "Oh, he can't really coach us. He doesn't know us."
Exactly.
I'm not defending the guy, but I don't think the book was targeted toward us. I just think it was targeted toward people in general. But it creates quite a quandary when you're trying to apply that book to people such as ourselves, given the vast history and and all of that stuff. So things can go awry, as we have seen.
How she
things have gone terribly awry. I knew when the FACKTgoddess realized who wrote the book,
that was the first thing awry. I asked her. I said, "Who wrote the book?" Let's start there. And as soon as she told me, I said, "Oh, please, don't even tell me no more." I walked away from her reading the titles and everything. I don't want to hear that mess.
Said he's speaking from an unfamiliar space.
Yes, indeed.
And Tanika agree with you, Simone. Absolutely. Yeah. So for me, and part, like I said, why I read it, regardless of who wrote it, was when it was asked about Dave being on. Like I said, I never want to be in a conversation where I am not versed or aware about what you are talking about because I haven't read it, or I just, it's nothing to read a book. I don't have to take on those beliefs because I read it.
Right.
And I didn't pay for it, so he ain't get no money from me. But again,
Yeah, I was given the digital copy.
Hey there, how you doing? Athens and West J Media. He said, "Hey, good people, good show. Thanks.
Right on, right on.
He has a whole plethora of podcasts going on. He has the media show and some other stuff going on. So
that's the brother you was
good
talking
to see
about a
you here.
while back.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
right on, brother. Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Glad to see you here. Yeah. So I mean, it was some of the titles before I even got into the book had me where I thought I wasn't gonna read the book. Because when I started looking at them titles, I was like, what? I was like, do I even want to get into this? Kay is back. He says, hello, good people. Hey, Kay.
Hey,
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, so them titles. And even the titles of the other book got me a little bit. I was like, what y'all about to get me into down this rabbit hole that I don't know if I want to go. But I'm gonna go because I want to be versed on what I'm gonna discuss.
Well, you know what they say. Even sinners have song too, daddy.
So it was one part. Let me go to this. He did mention about that a superior man lives with an open heart, even if it hurts. So I think part of that goes to when we were talking about previously about males being hurt and not wanting to get into different relationships because they've been hurt and they stay stuck in that I've been hurt, so I ain't gonna open up to nobody thing. I think that was kind of interesting.
Well, that goes back to the whole societal indoctrination of people because men are taught to compartmentalize, which eventually causes health problems, issues in relationships, the inability to express themselves, and all of that. So, again, societal influence on our lives cause these issues. Because I can say from experience, I was raised, you don't be if you say how you feel, that's a man complaining and all of that. And so I ended up holding a lot of stuff in, and it manifested itself in some less than ideal ways throughout my existence. And in some situations cost me, cost me relationships, cost me time, cost me a lot of mental health. So again, society's influence on us. You know what I'm saying? So,
Kay said,
but I digress.
What's going on? What is the discussion? It had to change a little bit because our guest that we're supposed to be on
didn't come on.
Didn't come on.
What you chuckling for down there, F.A.C.K.Goddess?
Oh. And Simone said, "Oh goodness."
What?
I'm on the YouTube too.
Yeah, so she'll see stuff before we see stuff. So
sorry
to be present
Why
up
she
here.
say, "Oh goodness"? What's wrong?
Just
with the male.
I mean, really, what's wrong is the guests aren't here because we redid this so we can hear what they had to say, so we can surmise what we think they would have said, but we really don't know until they say it.
So, in terms of having guests on, things have went terribly awry.
No comment. I'm going to remain neutral in that and keep my opinion to myself. That's what I'm gonna do.
I mean, what was the woman? I can't remember her name. C. Renee.
It only says C. Renee. I didn't get her full.
So I'm saying C. Renee did say why she couldn't come on. I'm not saying anything against that, but Dave was the was the main reason we wanted to hear what he had to say.
Right on, right.
But I pray that everything is okay with him and his.
All right. Atherton said, brother, totally agree with you about what men are taught to do.
Right on, right on.
Yeah, it's very much present in.
And you know what? To tie that all together, what we was talking about earlier about attributes, that's a perfect example there. Because we are a lot of men are taught to compartmentalize, and then we meet a good woman, for lack of a better phrase, and one of her attributes is you need to express yourself, encouraging you to express yourself, which makes you a better person, which also helps you to love her more and to love in general. So again, attributes that benefit the relationship as one unit going forward. That's kind of another point to that statement.
And then sometimes you have those who fight that attribute in her because they like that ain't what I was taught, and then that becomes kind of
Yeah,
a battle
and
within
that's
the
how you
relationship.
lose. You lose those. I've lost a great many loves in my life because of not expressing myself, and then manifested itself in other situations that were very less than ideal, that caused me to have to walk away, or that person had to walk away in my lifetime. So yeah, but I was encouraged. Express yourself, but you conditioned to not, because you've been taught all your life, this is not macho. Like, as a matter of fact, it's a meme or like a post I seen recently where the little black boy is in the room with his mother, and the mother's like, don't you be expressing how you feel to nothing. You ain't no man if you do that. And then it fast forwards to him being an adult, and the woman he's with is like, why you can't express yourself? And he like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Simone said, my oh goodness was me being tired of hearing the narrative of grown men existing and continually being stunted by choosing to be haunted by past traumas. And then she repeated, choosing to be haunted
and
by
capitalize past.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, men who express their emotions are often seen
Kay
as
said,
weak.
men who express their emotions are often seen as weak.
I mean, I'm not trying to debate what she said. I understand what she's saying, but and I know a lot of people might respond and say, "Oh, well, it's 2021. Go get some therapy and things like that," to be the response to a lot of people. But there are a lot, and I'm just making a point. There are a lot of men who are who may not know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just like it's women who have been through trauma, whether it was domestic violence or anything like that, and they have issues with seeking any type of help. And so they lock it again. So I'm agreeing with her saying choosing, but a lot of times it's just like slavery. Hell, you've been beat on so damn long, you think shit, this might be what it is. And you conditioned to a certain way of living. And some people are like that. So again, it might take a special person in your life, a family member, some type of support system that has the attributes to push you forward or lead you in the right direction so you can get the help that you need to confront those past traumas that you choosing to hold on to, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
So
Kay said exactly. Simone, oh, she said she was correcting her typos. Oh, we got you on your typos, boy. I'll read you right.
yeah, we
I'll read you in a
understand. We
minute.
understand what you're saying.
Now, I would like to speak on what Floyd just said, because I think that one of the underlying issues, I'm speaking to the abusive relationship, is people tend to minimize emotional and mental abuse as if it doesn't exist, and as if it isn't as detrimental as physical abuse. So there is hesitancy in seeking assistance in those type of situations because they already feel that, probably from past experiences or past rejections, that people are not going to take the matter seriously because it's not physical abuse.
Right, I feel that.
Especially with men, because it's almost this stigmatism that men don't get abused anyway. And then if you just talking about mental or emotional or verbal abuse, it's like, man, you serious? Like you letting a woman talk to you like that, you letting it get to you like that, which is again telling a man how he should feel or how he should operate or what role he should take on in a relationship.
Okay.
I totally understand that. I understand that wholeheartedly. I understand that. I'll just leave it at that. I understand that because that's very true.
Yes.
It's very true.
Let's get some of these comments. We have these cultural norms and gender stereotypes can be toxic, especially for males. Because of that, many men neglect to show their emotions because they're afraid of the repercussions.
Right, which goes back, right, and I agree that which what we talked about earlier about the societal, the way society views us, the gender roles again. You know what I'm saying? So I totally get it.
He said, however, suppressing emotions and feelings can be incredibly detrimental to a man's mental health.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm 45 years old. I be telling all my guys, but I'm 45 years old and I'm still dealing with, yet I'm handling well a lot of traumas and things that I had from my youth, but I'm dealing with it. But it took me a long time to confront it because of those stereotypes, because, certain things you say, like, I can't be in the barbershop cutting hair and be like, man, Joe, when I was a shorty, this happened to me. Oh, nigga, what you talking about? You can't deal with that. And then the thought is the word stigmatism or stereotype rather against men going to therapy. The thought of a man going to see a psychologist
or us, period.
Right. Yeah. Like it's just like a black woman's pain. You know what I'm saying? That's why sisters got to get second opinions at doctors because they minimalize the sister's pain. But even with a man, it's like the thought of going to a psychologist is like, man, what's wrong with you, brother? Or you looked at differently. So I agree with you, FACKTgoddess, when you said mental stress or unhealthiness or issues is looked upon lesser than physical trauma is the word you use. So I get it. I believe me, I get it. I believe if I was in environments or we as people created environments to make it healthy for us to seek those things out, I would have been able to confront and deal and conquer those things a long time ago, as opposed to now. So yeah, I totally agree.
And then Kay said emotional and mental scars are much deeper.
Yeah,
Simone said facts to that. Tanika said, but that's why we need to change the thought because that's why we have so many hurt people around hurting people.
Hurt people. That's right.
Go ahead.
I just was going to say, just speaking on that again and how present it is today. I stayed late at the school today because I had to call some parents who didn't respond to an email that I sent out about their students' grades. And I had my door open because it was the end of the day and most of the classes were over. There was a young man leaning up against the lockers crying, and his teacher, I don't know why he was crying, but my point is it was a male. And so his teacher was kind of consoling him and seeing if she could help because it appeared that maybe he just burst into tears and nobody knew why, from how she was engaging with him. And I heard her say, have you spoken to your parents about it? And he said, no, I can't. And just in that moment, I was like, that is a horrible thing for a child to feel like he can't talk to his parents about anything.
Yeah. I seen a post though a long time back where it said, I want to be the type of parent. Well, it said something to the effect of, if I have a problem, I want to be able to talk to my parents, not because I'll get in trouble, but because I know that they love me and they're going to help me regardless of what the situation is. I might have worded that a little different, but it was a post I seen many moons ago. And that relationship is that has been lost because a lot of children don't feel like they can talk to their parents because that stereotype and that conditioning is generational. These are the generational curses.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Okay, said, but it is common. It is common.
Yeah, that's what's unfortunate that it's common. You know, it's crazy, like hearing you say that story about the boy just busting out crying. That's how I know I'm still dealing with stuff. Because I can listen to a song that ain't got nothing to do with nothing and bust out and start crying. And I'm being funny when I say this. I can listen to Happy, Happy, Joy, Joy and might start crying. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but you know, it just,
It
everything is kind of, a little bit off. You're trying to sort it out. So, a melody, it's weird. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up.
I know for my boys, I made sure to say to them that they could come to me and talk about anything. I did forewarn them that I'm a little crazy, so mentally prepare me for what you're about to tell me. So be like, I need you in listening mode and not mama mode, because
disclaimer.
She ain't lying.
Prepare me first. Huh?
I said,
so
she
they
ain't
got to come
lying.
to you and be like, Mom, we know you crazy, but
Exactly.
No, not you know. Don't say
exactly, Floyd.
Don't say I'm crazy. But I did say, tell me that this is about to be a conversation that you need me to not be fully in mama mode, but in listening mode and available to.
And I just have to say this because she's my best friend. I have been in her presence when one of her boys has said, Mom, I need to talk to you. About what? You see what I'm saying?
Quintessential black mother.
I'm letting the people know she is not lying.
Quintessential black mother. Because I was going to say, depending on what's being said, if you're going to kick in. Because my mama used to say that same BS. Baby, I love you. You can talk to me about anything. Mommy, what done happened? You done got somebody pregnant? What going on? I'll whoop your ass. I ain't said nothing. I'm about to get my hands whooped, all type of stuff.
That's why they got to go on and prep me beforehand. So Kate said,
the prep don't work. The prep don't work.
Tanika said, yes, that relationship has been lost, and that's why we have so many children that aren't able to express themselves.
Yeah.
And another thing I add just real quick, that's why, in my opinion, that's why it's so easy for these young men and women to hurt each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no love for each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that comes from community. When we was growing up, we had neighbors and things like that we were tight with. Your parents talked to. It was community. You don't have that no more. You got Xbox, PlayStation, YouTube, and social media. So everything is taken away. There's no community. So you don't, and then you watching something every day. You don't have no love for each other like that. Anyway, I digress. Back to this mama thing you were talking about.
Simone said, what didn't happen? And then Kay said, black parenting style is always authoritarian. Authoritarian.
Right.
So kids are never comfortable to speak openly. Well, mine are.
What did happen?
They just have to, huh?
Right now, I'm trying to stay up on the comments as they come through. So I'm like, what did happen?
No, she was saying when we said, what did happen?
Yeah.
Like when you come to your parents, you say, what did happen?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. Well, my mama didn't use such nice language.
Well, I don't even say what didn't happen. Like I said, they know when they're coming with that type of conversation.
Look at her eyes.
Preference me first.
I already know. You can see the wild look in her eyes right now. She's reminiscing on conversations that they done had before, and she's saying,
and during that time, I let them say what they're gonna say, get it all out, their feelings, what they think about it, and then I'll tell them I'm gonna give you two answers. I'm gonna give you the answer of me talking to you as a grown person, and I'm gonna give you the answer as me talking to you as your mama. And you put them two together, and you take your parts from it, and you make your decision.
And that sound like Suge Avery in the church hugging her daddy, talking about even sinners have song too. That's what that sound like. Once again, I think we need to interview the children. We need to interview the children.
You want them? They can come. They can tell you. They right in there. They just got back from the stove.
I hear you, but I just believe in my heart that you just not that calm.
Eddie and Joshua,
the way she called their name let them know that they need to be on their P's and Q's. So you got to pay attention to the tone and the articulation.
Kay said it was also, I also think it's generational in the style of parenting.
I would agree. See, when your mama call you a certain way, you already know how to come on the scene. Like if your mama be like, Floyd,
listen.
you know it's good. It's like, Floyd, you already know whatever the hell it is, you better agree and shut the hell up.
How are you guys doing today?
We're doing
great.
What's going on, y'all?
Wow.
So we are talking about when I say about you guys coming to me to talk about anything, and I said that you guys should preference me prior to the conversation, that it's a different type of conversation, that you need me to be in listening mode, not mama mode all the way. Right? Have I told y'all to do that?
Yeah.
Have y'all done that?
Yeah.
Do I listen and be calm while y'all are telling me what y'all are telling me?
Yes.
Do you hear it?
100% of the time, yeah.
Thank you. So Simone said, all these typos, corrections are hilarious. That's because of the FACKTgoddess is going to clock the error. Ooh. And then Simone said, y'all look nervous. Are y'all nervous?
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Can you speak up, son?
No, not at all.
Girl, that means nothing.
This our mom. We know her.
I'm just looking.
There's no reason to be nervous towards our mom.
All.
Okay.
I came in here nervous because of the yell, but that was about it.
Come on. Now there's the truth came.
I thought something was wrong for a minute.
He said he thought something was wrong.
Like,
right? Yeah, I know he thought something was wrong.
The only thing is, all I heard is, "Hey!" I'm like,
yeah, that's it. We just thought something was wrong.
Yeah, we thought something was
because they know I'm recording and they don't come in here when I'm recording.
All right, Mom, we're gonna head out. I got
okay, Mom.
Oh, he's cooking steak.
I hear you, Mommy dearest.
He's cooking steak, y'all. Tell the good people goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a great night.
That's Chef Negro RD.
Nah, you gotta use the other card.
What?
You gotta use the other title card.
I don't know what that is.
Big black cocoa butter boom boom J.
Boy, go now, he closed my damn door.
Big black cocoa butter boom boom J.
Boom boom J.
Simone laughing. She said that's because Keely has the belt in her other hand.
Because you see when she was like, now y'all go ahead and tell me what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why
them eyes look wild in the jungle.
Like he said, he know his mama.
Right, that's the point. He know his mama. He know after the podcast, if they didn't say the right thing, that might be
they gonna get it. Yep, they gonna get it.
No, that's never me. Always nurturing and loving.
And then she was like, and don't I listen? Don't I?
Right. Bass. It was a lot of bass in there.
That's not intimidating at all.
It's not.
I thought y'all was in the recording studio.
Tell the people what they need to know. Tell the people what they need to know.
Right. Very assertive.
Because they questioning your mama.
It was very assertive.
It was.
Always. Twice on Sunday.
It was like along the lines of, saying that again out of me.
Exactly. She proved the case in point.
I did not.
Kids cannot speak freely to their parents if they're
Y'all could have asked them whatever y'all
One thing about black folks, it's all about the voice inflection. Voice inflection lets you know everything. You ain't got to be on the scene yet. But they hear that tone of voice, they already know what time it is. You heard him say he thought it was something wrong. He didn't know he wasn't specific about what was wrong. But he knew something was awry.
Because I don't call them in here when I'm recording. They know my door stays closed. Don't knock on my door. Don't ask me for nothing. Figure it out while I'm recording. And then when my door opens, you know it's open. You can ask me what you need to ask me.
It's great.
Someone said, like, who in their right mind going to go against that?
Thank you, Simone.
Speak, Lord. Speak to me. See, come on, talk to him. Talk to him. Talk to him.
No.
Wide-eyed eyes was wild. It was
Lele must have left
and
us.
will be.
Did Lele leave us?
I don't know.
She ain't said much.
Young Lele.
Yes. But yeah, but they can come to me and talk, but they do have to preference when it's.
I believe you. I believe you. I think maybe some consequence repercussions, but I believe.
No,
I'm just playing. I'm just playing around with you.
And that's what I made sure to instill in them, that I want you to come and tell me and talk to me, because I would rather you get some good information from me than some messed up information from one of your friends that don't know nothing, that's on the same level as you, that probably ain't experienced nothing, or they got it from somebody else. I won't be able to tell you. And then if something happens from that, then I can say that's what I told you and I messed up and I apologize, or whatever needs to go from there. But if you got it from somewhere else and then you come and you was like, well, I talked to them and they told me, who is they?
That's how you told him to come to your room. Huh? That's how you told him to come to your room.
What?
Yeah.
That what you doing right there with them eyes?
Yeah.
And they know. And what they did, brought their ass on in here, didn't they? In 2.2 seconds.
Crazy.
That dating got a lot of black folk in trouble over the years. They be getting people in trouble. Y'all remember that cartoon, the comic strip called Family Circus?
Yes.
Do you remember it was called Not Me? They had an imaginary friend named Not Me, but he ended up manifesting himself as like a person. And so whenever they would do something wrong, they'd be like, did you knock over the vase? And he'd be like, not me. But Not Me was like a little dude with the name Not Me on his chest. If you ever get a chance, just look. I just thought it was funny. It was the Family Circus. It was a comic strip. It's kind of like with black folks. They will get you in trouble. Well, they said, I don't care what they, whoever they is, got me a lot of hands whoopers in my life. And I'm sure it got y'all in trouble too. They and them. I knew you was gonna say no. I knew you was gonna say no.
I didn't get in trouble.
Oh, that's right, because you told on everybody. That's why.
Yeah, she was a teller.
She told on everybody to keep.
Outside of me telling, I didn't do anything to get in trouble. I was too scared. I was gonna go to hell.
You know what though? You was gonna go to hell.
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna say like Miss RG was gonna be gangbang. Because your mom looked like she whooped a little ass.
She didn't ever have to whoop us.
Really?
I told y'all in one of the episodes, the only time we got a whooping was when me and my brother fought each other so hard.
You did say that. You did say that. You did say that.
Y'all fight other people like that. You don't fight each other like that. That was the only time.
You did say that. You're exactly right. You did say that. Wow. Well, I can't say that because I've got a plethora of punishments.
I was such an angel.
Well,
cornucopia of butt whippings.
I didn't get the ones, but my siblings did.
Yeah, I remember you telling that story. Y'all, I don't know. Y'all, see, I couldn't. See, my mama got trophies for whooping my ass growing up. She got trophies. She honorable mention ass whooping. She whipped my ass for everything. And she used to tell me, if you breathe hard, I used to be like, I swear, I'm telling you.
Someone said that's a February person trait. No, because I was born in May. I'm just the golden child.
Oh, that's right. You is a May baby. Right on. You a Taurus?
No, Gemini.
That's unfortunate.
It is not. It's very, very, very great.
What, May 20 what? The 24th. That's right. You're the 24th. Yeah. Yeah, sure is. You just missed it. 5 days. Just missed
goodness.
I didn't miss anything. I was exactly where I was supposed to be. That's why everybody. That's why my kids can get the two sides to me. They can get that balance. They can get that off the chain, and they can get.
You know what? With that being said, I agree. Case in point, you called into the room. Come on in here.
But it's just not with them. It's with anybody. Anybody can.
I see you in action, cold-blooded. I see you.
Oh my God.
Cold-blooded.
You have not. I have always been on the very nice and up and up. Tanika said she didn't get many whoopings either.
Ain't
She
that
was an
something?
angel.
I hope. Are you gonna spell check your friend? Because there was an H missing in that whooping.
I saw listen, I saw it.
Look, you got me on point, so I'm out here. I'm on everybody. I'm on everybody. All right, I'm on everybody. The hook and whooping was missing. That's all I'm saying.
I saw
Miss
it.
Scott.
I did. I
I'm
was
trying to
staring
save
at
it
it
from
on
your free.
YouTube, and I was like,
Again, like I said, I know what you mean. I read how you say it, how you meant it.
I know what she said too. I'm just trying to protect her from the wrath of the FACKTgoddess. On the spell check side of the game. I love you, but it's whooping, not
she retracted
whooping.
her whole message. What did you get ready to say that she retracted? She was going to say something.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to protect you. You know, one of my attributes is protection. I'm just trying to bring it full circle. You know.
Are you a provider and a protector?
I try to be if I'm in that situation, but you know, when the time comes, I will be.
Boom.
You know, if I have someone to protect and provide.
This is a good question. Would you be comfortable with a female taking care of you financially if she made more money than you?
No, because and let me be clear, because I know that's my head on the fucking guillotine right
clarity.
now. Lord. Look, I'm gonna say this. So I don't have a problem with if a woman makes more money than me, but I'm gonna feel uncomfortable just as a man if she has to take care of me. Now, there can be certain situations where that may happen. I may fall ill. I may lose a job or something like that. So I understand in that situation if she's assisting me, because again, remember, this is for the betterment of the unit. So I get it in those situations. But just willy-nilly taking care of me and I ain't on nothing, hell no.
But what does that have to do with you being? But what does that have to do with you being a man? If we're not, if it's about the attributes, her attribute would be she's the breadwinner.
You on some buzz, but I
did it freeze?
What'd you say? Look, I started to be like,
y'all a mess, a whole mess.
No, you know what though? That's a good question. So I'll say this, because that is a very good question. I ain't gonna run from it. I'll say for me personally, again, it's situational for me. If I am doing my part, if I'm taking care of my business, I'm working and all of that, then there's no need for her to take care of me because we both doing things as a unit. Now, if somewhere I fall short, something happens, like I said, sickness, loss of a job, and I'm looking for another one, life situations, and she's taking care of the situation, our unit, then no, I don't have a problem with that, because if that happens to her, I have no problem with doing it myself. But if I'm not ambitious, if I'm not putting forth an effort, if I'm not doing what my attributes state for me to do, and this woman is taking care of me, yes, I have a real problem. Things have gone terribly awry. Yes, I have a problem with that in that situation.
But you could have all of the attributes in the world, but she has the money and doesn't want you to tap into your attributes. She just wants you to stay at home, give her some good loving, cook a few meals, and she gonna break you off some proper in the financial area. You don't have to work or nothing.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and this might cause a debate, because I actually know somebody like that.
Okay.
But that would be a problem for me, and that just comes for me, because of how I came up, how I was raised, my experiences, and my belief system, and my work ethic, and my willingness to want to provide. Because I have so for me personally, I got a big Willie complex. Like I enjoy, if I'm in a relationship, I like being able to have the money to do stuff.
Yeah, that
You know what I'm saying?
BDE.
Like if I'm in a relationship and I'll be like, I'm gonna buy this, I'll go buy this, I do that, do this. Like I don't have no problem with that because I get a kick out of that. If I buy something, we outside and I go buy some earrings, I buy something, I pay for dinner, I do that. Because I'll be like Bill Cosby with it before the scandal. You know, I'd be like,
that's that BDE.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I like that. So I would have a problem with that if I'm not able to do that. You see what I'm saying? So
Because I feel
yeah,
like if
I would
it's not
have a
in
problem with
him, I think if it's not in him to feel comfortable with that, it's not gonna work. And then kind of even listening to kind of how you threw it, it sounded like at some point he'll be emasculated within that because I'm throwing you some money. I just want you to do this, do that. That's all I need for you to do. So it kind of takes away his role of being in it equally with her.
that. But I know where you was going with that. I know where you was going with that.
But I'm going with our discussion. If we're not gonna have roles, if it's not gonna be a male female thing, then why can't a female do that for a male?
Again, going back to what we said before, unfortunately, we have been defined by society's rules and regulations. So because of how I've been raised, not only by my family, but in the society, I have an inherent way of being that says I must work, I must provide, I must stand in a certain light in the eyes of my woman. I must be a certain way in the eyes of my woman. So if I can't exercise those attributes, then I have an issue with that. I would have an issue allowing the woman that I love if I'm not doing anything. Again, if I'm physically, purposely not doing anything, I have an issue with her taking, quote unquote, taking care of me. Again, though, if I fall on some type of less than ideal situation, then that's a different conversation. But for me as a person, I enjoy providing. I enjoy doing for. So if those things are taken away from me and she fulfills that role, that's going to be an issue for me. And it doesn't have anything to do with gender. It just has more to do with me as a person and who I want to be in my union, in my relationship. That's what I'm saying.
So a group of men like you, is it, I guess, right, so to speak, for you? I'm not saying you personally, but I'm saying your type of male in a relationship. Is it right to scrutinize a man that's okay with it?
See that yes, you asked some some good questions tonight. That's a slippery slope for me because I've seen that, and my judgment is based upon my personal beliefs and experiences. So I would look at the dude sideways. Me personally, I would. I'm not gonna sit here and lie in front for the show. I would be like, man, what the feces? You know what I'm saying? Like what? Like this some BS? Like what you are? Like, cause that I didn't come from that. Now I will say in my younger, less than ideal days, where I wasn't as ambitious and driven as I am today, I did allow that. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. I felt a bit emasculated because what was inherent in me, I wasn't acting on. So so if I saw somebody else based on how I am, I would look at them sideways. Yes, I would. I really would. I would. I'd be like, man, dog. Because I would feel like you taking advantage of this woman.
I got one more question.
Come on with it.
What's the difference in you judging in that way and somebody judging you if you cry?
Okay, I got to think on that now, Dr. Phil.
Like men aren't supposed to cry, so to speak. Men aren't supposed to express themselves emotionally. So if you feel like that is wrong, why is it right for you to scrutinize somebody that is just sitting back enjoying the fruits of his woman's labor?
Well, I don't feel that way anymore about expressing myself because I've learned that that's detrimental to me physically, mentally, and emotionally. So I understand that that's not the case. So I don't believe that anymore. But but I'll take myself back to when I did and try to answer the question. So I would say that, You said what would be the difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, for me, I don't think they
That's
compare in terms of what it is, because a person expressing their emotions is one thing, and a person basically leeching or mooching off somebody else is a whole
But that's
different
how is
But
that
animal.
she's speaking.
But
She's
how is
speaking
that
from a
leeching
role
and
perspective.
mooching
Like
if she wants to do it? That's not leeching and mooching if she wants to do it.
Well, like you said, that's what they decide to do within their agreement and their relationship. So nobody can really say anything about it, but him and what his personal beliefs are and how he feels about it. He can have that and still it be okay, but he ain't got to express it to the person, because you can't change what somebody else believes. But that's what they've decided to do within their relationship role, especially if she's saying that that's what she wants to do. However,
Right.
he still can have the feeling, because of his internal mate, that he might still look at him sideways. Not saying that it's right or wrong, because you're not in their
So the comparison
relationship
is
unit.
it's still this male standard that's being frowned upon. That's what the likeness is, because there are still males that frown upon males that are expressing themselves and their emotions. So
that, you
that
know, I
feel
get
like
it because
one thing doesn't have to do with the other. It does, because there's still this male role that is put in place, and you can be judged or scrutinized if you are doing something that somebody feels is less masculine than it should be.
so again, we go right back to society defining who we are, because it's accepted for a man to take care of a woman, but like you say, it's frowned upon for a woman to take care of a man. So I get it. So once again, society's dictation of how our roles are supposed to be.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
we should
Or
just get some
your
t-shirts that say
personal
damn
choice.
society.
Society ain't got to tell me nothing. I'm not finna take care of no grown man. You gonna contribute or something got to happen. I ain't
Right,
no
but
kid.
that comes from a
For
belief
me and my
system, and right,
personal,
exactly
yeah.
the same way I feel like I have an issue with a woman taking care of a man, even though I understand exactly what you're saying, FACKTgoddess, right? But like I said, I have a big Willie syndrome. I feel better when I'm able to do for my mate. So, and that comes from a lot of different things, growing up and all
Because
that. But I get what you're
realistically,
saying. That's strong.
there are a lot of stay-at-home fathers,
I know. I got a homie that's a stay-at-home father.
and they do
But
everything that a quote-unquote stay-at-home mother would do.
He does.
Yes,
He does.
so my thing with that is, it may be a portion or a time where the woman can make more money than the male counterpart can. That's her attribute. Like you said, she's the breadwinner. The difference is he's doing something else that complements or that is the betterment of the group. He's doing everything that she would have done. They just switch roles in terms of who does what, but it works for their relationship. So nobody can look down on that unless they allow for somebody to look down on that. But somebody's personal belief is still going to be what they believe personally. Because at the end of the day, I have tried that, because there was a time when I knew I made and could make more money than my kid's dad. And I was like, well, you be the person to stay at the house. But because that ain't in me, at the end of the day, I started resenting him. I started feeling like it was being condescending, and that ain't right and proper either. So we had to have a whole nother discussion, come to a new agreement, and rearrange some stuff, because that ain't never the person that I want to be.
So
But it just didn't work for me personally.
So going back to the beginning of the conversation when we talked about we define what we want in our relationships, you know. But I'm gonna ask my homie if he'll come on here. I don't know if he will. I'm gonna ask him because he a stay-at-home father. And they got kids the whole nine, and like they happy as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like they have a
And it
beautiful
can work
relationship the whole
in the
nine.
proper dynamic.
I'm gonna ask him will he.
I just use that as an example because you can also be a stay-at-home husband and not have children.
Well, that's true too. We call them sugar mamas taking care of babies.
Because that's what society has taught us.
Right, exactly. So it sounds like the overall theme of this is that you should dictate what you want in your relationship and not allow society to have any type of influence on your thing.
Right. Other people shouldn't be judgmental because everybody's situation is different.
Well, people
I
don't judge.
personally,
It's just the nature
as
of the beast.
a female, wouldn't want that type of situation, but I wouldn't judge somebody that has it either.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Like when I was younger, I ain't gonna lie, I was a less than ideal guy when I was younger. So I did allow a lot of that, but I still felt like less of a man because I knew better inherently. I knew who I was and I knew better. So as a man, it's like I can't allow that. I enjoy doing. It make me feel better when I do stuff. And then certain situations
But see how you're
arise.
still even saying I knew better and I could do better.
Huh?
I said, see how you're saying you knew better and you could do better. You knew better than what?
No, I'm saying
This would go against what's inherently in him.
Advocate tonight.
I see, but I'm just saying that in my younger years, I was a less than ideal person. But as I've gotten older, I understand.
You felt that way because of how you were raised.
No, I wasn't. I was that way because I was a lazy motherfucker. And I was in them streets and I didn't want to do nothing. I was being lazy. But even in my laziness as a younger man, I still had something inside of me where I didn't feel good about myself because I knew what I was doing according to who I am was wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
Me.
Yeah. Because somebody else may have not felt that it was less than ideal.
I beg to differ.
Yeah. So Tanika said it's okay in terms of her correcting. She's a little in the sky right now, and she ain't worried about her.
In the sky.
In the sky.
That means different things to different people.
I don't know about that.
Perspective.
And Simone was laughing at did it freeze?
Oh, because I got that good. I'd be like,
I knew it. I always tell you no.
I knew it hadn't froze. I knew it hadn't froze. That's why I said that.
Well, I ain't run from it. I wasn't gonna run from it. I ain't gonna run from it. I'm gonna go, I'm representing the brothers. I got to stand up for the brothers, you did.
The minstresses.
Right. Can't be like Harpo in the juke joint.
Yeah. Oh, time to go.
Harpo, I thought you said this here was our juke joint.
Ain't no woman supposed to talk like that, no man.
We need to just have
wait. I gotta say this. Wait. When that Mike was at the Thanksgiving table and that Mike said, "You're gonna let that nappy haired gal treat you like a waiter at your own goddamn table."
We need to have a Color Purple episode.
God, man, I love that. My favorite part that Suge gave me though. God, I love it. See, Daddy, even sinners have songs too. And then her mouth, when she hugged, her mouth was like.
It's time to end this episode.
Yeah. Jesus.
We really do need to do a Color Purple show, though. We need to do a Color Purple show.
We should. Her mouth was funny. She hugged. She was like.
Simone said she has a great Sophia impression.
I want to hear that. I just want to just do the part where she be like, just do that for me. Just do that for me.
My boy to beat me.
Right.
Okay, Mama.
This Sophia home now, baby.
Mama,
right, we need a Color Purple episode.
Mama.
Mama. Bundi mama. Bundi mama. Then the wife got to talking. She was like, mama.
This is gone awry.
Simone said the scene where she had to fight.
Oh,
man. Get my children out of here.
Yes. Oh my God, help me. But no, seriously, there's so many underlying themes that were happening in society against us that we could seriously do a Color Purple episode.
Good.
Maybe we, Keely, sidebar. One of our theme months can be movies,
Mm-hmm.
and then we pick a movie, point out some stuff, discuss it.
Okay.
Definitely, Color Purple will be one of them. We'll do that last.
I may be poor. I may be black. Hell, I may even be ugly. But I's here, Lord. I's here. Everything you do don't fail. Everything.
I'm going to go sing. I'm going with Suge.
That's my profile picture. See the giving the root. That's my profile on Facebook. See the giving the root.
Oh Lord.
So if y'all looking for me on Facebook world, just look for Floyd Sample and the picture of Celia giving the root. That's me.
Yes, it is.
Did I tell y'all I found I got a sister?
You did.
Ain't that some crazy shit? Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Oh God.
The nigga said y'all still.
Oh,
that's the most of y'all need to do a show about Colin in black and white. I have not watched that yet, Simone. I saw it. Is it out yet?
I be having this shit.
It's on Netflix.
I ain't really a fan.
Okay.
It's on Netflix.
I watch it, but
the growl. You know, they say the growls means different things.
I just got my, I have my opinion about the Colin Kaepernick thing, but I digress.
It's amazing.
I'm gonna check it out. Now. I'm sure it's an amazing documentary. I'm gonna check it out now. But yeah, I got a 60-year-old sister, man. That's some crazy shit. Excuse me. Some crazy fecal matter. I'm sorry.
All right.
Do you have one?
And I love you, but
yes.
Yeah, remember you gave it to me.
Oh, okay. Well,
you wouldn't use the one I had.
I gotta look back and see what you gave me. I'm sorry.
It's time for I Love You, but we still need your suggestions to be sent to the FACKTgoddess, and that is F-A-C-K-T goddess at gmail.com. It will also be in the description below. Take it away.
Okay, so somebody was being probably facetious with my BFF, and they used the word regurgitate.
Regurgitate.
And so, according to my favorite Merriam-Webster, regurgitate means to become thrown or poured back as an intransitive verb. As a transitive verb, it's to throw or pour back or out from or as if from a cavity. So you regurgitate food. Memorize facts to regurgitate on the exam. And in comparison, I don't even know if this is slang or if it'll be on here. So we were talking about the difference between regurgitate and throw up.
Or vomit.
Or like some black people like to say vomit.
Oh, vomit. Yes.
Vomit.
Jesus.
What is vomit? V-O-M-A-C.
This is so awry. I'm sorry, audience. Okay, hold on. Okay, so the definition of vomit is to disgorge the stomach contents, to spew forth. To disgorge the contents of the stomach through the mouth, to eject violently or abundantly, to cause to vomit. An act or instance of disgorging the contents of the stomach through the mouth. It's the disgorged matter.
Yeah, we have a new subscriber, Houston Bread.
Hey, welcome.
Hey, Houston Bread.
You missed
Welcome,
it. You got to go back
welcome.
and look at it if you're just joining. It was wonderful.
Right now we're
So
spewing facts.
you probably will do better telling why we
Okay.
chose that.
So part of what I do is I get referrals from when we have team members that have to be out with sick or COVID related symptoms. And so when they send their emails, most people will put that they were vomiting or whatever. And I know that the word regurgitate sounds more PC, but that's not what people are doing if they're vomiting. They're just vomiting. Period. Point. What you said? Discord. What?
Disgorging.
Disgorging.
Spewing.
Spewing
the stuff,
forth.
the contents from their stomach. To regurgitate, like a cow would regurgitate what they eat, they chew it and swallow it back down. That's what regurgitating is, not what we do, or at least I would hope. So I know they were trying to sound professional in regurgitating, but that's not what they were doing. So please, for the as the fat guy says, for the love of God, do not use regurgitating for vomiting. Please, please.
I like that word spewing.
Houston Bread said, hello, all. I'll definitely run it back. Yes, please, please. And any other ones as well.
I'm going to have to start using that word again, spewing. I've spewed forth many times in my experiences in my lifetime. I've spewed forth.
In what way?
Spewed. What she say slick down there?
Who?
I thought she said something. Spewed.
I didn't say anything.
You have to use your mouth like that. Spewed.
Well, now I'm gonna say something.
Okay. Go ahead.
Since he asked for it.
Oh.
Spew. You're gonna spew for it?
He asked for the experience.
Yes.
What'd you say?
I didn't say spune. I said spew. There's no N on it.
Well, I'm saying spewed.
And I'm telling you that's not a word.
That's all right. So foundated ain't a word either, but
I cringed when you said that.
That's all right. Whooping WOOPING ain't a word either.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
And I saw it. I just didn't comment on it.
Ain't that so? So there's a bias then.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, well, go ahead on. Now, thanks for letting us all know.
It's you.
That don't matter. Carry on. Spewing. I'm spewing.
Oh, for the love of God, people, there's no N on spew. It's just SPEW, not SPEWN, like Floyd said. He's not.
If you want to use Floydisms, you can spew whatever you want to spew forth.
Please don't use Floydism.
Tanika said, leave me out of it, Floyd. Are all hearts and minds clear?
Yes, I think I've spewed forth everything that I can.
For him
foundated
to be
in love.
For him to be so intellectual and intelligent, he is very ignorant.
Ooh. Oh.
I am shocked and appalled by your statement that you have spewed forth, foundated in hatery. Yes, something has gone terribly awry. Simone Baldwin Productions, you damn right. Something has gone terribly awry. And it was spewed forth by the FACKTgoddess, and it was foundated in bull crap. That's what it was.
Oh, we're going to work on him. We're going to work on him.
We'll have to add spewed to the lingo. Spewed. The booger wolf spewed some game at me trying to holler.
Oh,
in this, Keely, please. We got new people, and they're not going to come back because of him.
That's not true. That's not true. They're enjoying the banter.
Y'all are so extra.
Did you use a good word?
I use words all the time. My vocabulary is quite extensive. You should know that.
I do.
All
And
right,
that's
then.
why I cringe at the thought of you saying spume.
That's all right. I spune forth new words that I like to create. They're
I'm
spewed
crying
forth.
now, Keely. End it. I'm
My
crying.
soul.
All right. So since all hearts and minds are clear, this will conclude our show for this evening. Thank you all for joining us as we do the best to give you the content you deserve. Please feel free to keep the conversation going below in the comments. We do look forward to them. We appreciate everyone who commented this evening. We will figure out what happened with our other supposed to be brought on co-host Dave, and hopefully everything is okay.
Yeah, we're going to get him. That'll be all right. No, I'm kidding.
Again, thank you for watching. If you have not, make sure to thumbs up this video. Oh, wait. Ooh, wait a minute. What happened?
I thought she was singing that Ray J song. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, I had a moment. Oh, you ain't make it rain, did you? Make it rain.
She did. She got serious with it. Oh my gosh.
Simone, did you really need us to wait a minute? I don't know.
Wait a minute.
Wait. Okay. So if you have not, make sure to thumbs up this video, share, like, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, subscribe, click the notification bell. We also remember that we are wherever you find or locate all your streaming services, such as Spotify, Spreaker, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, GeoSaving, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and of course here on YouTube. All right, so we will see you guys next week because it's not a holiday, right?
I don't know. I was just gonna say we're all over this female dog like canine fecal matter.
Oh, you said it this time. Oh, Simone said she thought she heard a private joke mentioned between Floyd and Melinda.
There's always some private banter going on.
It is.
Look, I'll speak your private banter. Speak for no money. Say slick you. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was having a Tina Turner moment. I know it's private dancer, but I thought I'd use banter.
Oh my God.
Banter.
Lord. Okay, see y'all next week on GoddeSShips at 9 p.m. because every ship matters.
All ships aren't the same.
And life is lived on ships.
All right.
Little people, hit me up. FloydGod24 at Gmail. Little people, hit me up.